I'm a mom who is obsessed with baby wearing, and I've tried 5 of the most popular carriers, so here's my ratings and why. I want to preface this video and just say I was not paid by any of these brands to promote these carriers. I will say this carrier was gifted to me as well as the Tula carrier, but every other carrier I either bought with my own money or got as a baby shower gift. This is 100% my honest review. I'm going to be basing my ratings off of 2 factors with the carriers. The first being how comfortable the carrier is, like the quality of the material, and just like how comfortable it is to wear, that my back's not hurting after a while. And 2 would be how easy it is to get the carrier on. Because when you have a baby that's freaking out, which is typically how he is right before I put him in the carrier, you need something quick to throw on and super easy. First, let's start off with my most used carrier, the Wildbird Ariel carrier. This is definitely the carrier that my husband and I reached for first because of how easy it is to put on. So this is gonna get a 10 out of 10 in the easy to put on category. The crisscross straps are very user-friendly to just throw on and strap around. It's the first carrier I really learned how to put on comfortably. Absolutely love it. I think it's so easy to put on. For comfort, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Here's the reason why. This is one of the most comfortable carriers I've ever worn. My only gripe with comfort on this one is in the material that I got, which was my fault for picking this material. It's like a denim material, which is totally fine probably if you lived in a colder climate, but it just gets so hot that we get sweaty wearing this carrier. While I love this design, I think it's so cute, I wouldn't opt for getting the denim again. I would definitely buy another Wildbird carrier in a regular material. My review of the Wildbird carrier puts it at a 9.5 out of 10, still super high, and I would highly recommend this carrier to anyone. It's definitely the one I grab for the most. Okay, next I want to talk about the Solly Wrap. This is the first carrier I ever used. I just love the Solly Wrap. It is the only carrier that I have that's not structured, but I just absolutely love the Solly Wrap. We used this a ton before he could meet the height and weight requirements for a structured carrier. And it really does feel like they're a second skin. So as far as comfortability, this is a 10 out of 10, if not an 11 out of 10. This is by far the most comfortable carrier. I'm gonna have to rate it a 7 out of 10 in the how easy it is to put on department, just because there is a lot of fabric and sometimes that can be a bit intimidating. I really got a hang of how to wrap him into here, so it's not very hard for me to load him in, but it was a little bit of a learning curve. I would say this isn't one I'd bring out in public with me because the time it would take to get the whole wrap situated and put on correctly would just be too long. Like I would definitely reach for something like the Wildbird where I could just snap it on quickly if we were in public and he was getting fussy. So overall, I'm gonna rate the Solly Wrap an 8.5. I absolutely love this, and I definitely think you need a wrap-like carrier in addition to a structured carrier. I know it may seem like overkill, but they really do have their own purposes, and I just don't think that they're interchangeable. Next, let's talk about the Baby Bjorn carrier. This is the Baby Bjorn newborn carrier. I have got to be honest with you guys, this is probably my least favorite carrier out of the bunch, solely just because it's very overwhelming to me. And it's funny because I've watched videos on it and a lot of people think it's really easy to use because of these clips, but the 2 separate parts and then this height measurement thing, I think just threw me off. Also, this is pretty narrow for his hips, which I just don't feel super comfortable with. I honestly just never felt like I could get this carrier right, and I just didn't feel comfortable with it. So as far as comfort, my own comfort was totally fine with this carrier, but I would say with the way his legs were sitting, I'm gonna rate that like a 5 out of 10. And then as far as how easy it is to put on, I'm also gonna give that a 5 out of 10. I don't think it's easy to put on at all, but my husband has really liked this carrier, and he wore this a ton when Archer was super small and he was only meeting the height and weight requirements for this one. My husband loved this carrier. So I think some people are gonna love it and some people it's not for them. For me, I just never fully got comfortable with it. I'm definitely gonna hang on to it and maybe try it again with my next baby. I think I didn't give it enough of a shot because I was so intimidated by it. But overall, I'm gonna rate this carrier a 5 out of 10. Okay, next let's talk about the Tula baby carrier. I think this is the Explore baby carrier. You can tell this baby carrier is very loved because it's all stained and has stuff all over it. I absolutely love this baby carrier as far as comfort. I really do. This is one that we grab for very frequently. So I'm gonna rate this a 9.5 out of 10 for comfort. I think this is one of the more comfortable carriers overall. It's very well cushioned. Where this carrier is losing points for me is in the easy to use. The backpack style clips are honestly really annoying to put on when you're by yourself. I've watched videos of people doing it and they seem like they have an easier time than I do, where they just swing it over their head. But for me, it's just not that easy to put on when I'm by myself, especially when he's freaking out And I find that these backpack straps get twisted a lot. If someone else is home with me, it's super easy to put on. But when I'm completely by myself, I just struggle to get this one on. I will throw in a little bonus for this pocket that comes with it. But my only gripe about the pocket is it's not big enough to fit a cell phone. So really the only things you can fit in here are like AirPods or a credit card. It's still a bonus to have the pocket. I just wish it was like a little bit bigger and could fit my phone. For ease to use, I'm gonna give this carrier a 5 out of 10. I really do struggle putting it on when I'm completely by myself. I can do it, it's just not nearly as easy as like the Wildbird or the Mabe. But for comfort, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. So overall, this carrier is gonna be a 7.5 out of 10 for me. I added in that little 0.5 because of the pocket, which I do use pretty frequently. Last but definitely not least is the Mabe Monarch carrier. I absolutely love this carrier. It's my newest carrier. And since we bought it, it's by far the one we're reaching for the most. As far as comfortability, this one definitely gets a 10 out of 10, easy peasy lemon squeeze. This is probably my most comfortable out of the carriers, I would say. The padding is very, very plush. It's really easy to put on with the crisscross straps. It does not hurt my back whatsoever. I also just love the material, it's so soft. And then for ease to put on, it's also gonna get a 10 out of 10 for me. So this carrier overall is my first 10 out of 10. I'm gonna rate this carrier as my top carrier out of all of the bunch. It truly is my favorite, and I think it's the one I'm gonna grab for the most now. I would say that it's very comparable to the Wildbird. You can't go wrong with either. Out of all the carriers, these two are by far my favorite and the ones I grab for the most. And I really do think if I had the Wildbird in a different pattern, I'd probably be grabbing for it just as much as the Mabe. It's just that this pattern is a little bit rough and it doesn't really match with a lot of my stuff. I don't know what I was thinking when I got this pattern. As you can see, the common theme is that I pretty much get this tan color in all my carriers just because it kind of goes with everything. And my husband baby wears a lot, so it's a neutral color that he can feel comfortable wearing too. So overall, I rate the Mabe carrier a 10 out of 10 in my book. I hope this review could be helpful for some of you moms out there trying to do your research about what carrier to get. I know I watched so many of these videos when I was picking out a baby carrier. I also will include in the bio some discount codes for the carriers that I've gotten from brands. Even though I'm not doing a like full-blown sponsored video with these brands, I still wanted to get a code for you guys to make it a little bit cheaper. So every code I was able to get, I will put in the bio for you. I hope you have a great day and happy baby wearing to you.